I wanted to look at a school which not just focuses on the academics but on the holistic growth of children as well. At the end of the day, these children are the ones who will eventually become the bright stars in the future. The best part is, and why we know that he's having a very enriching learning is.
Hi, welcome to YellowSlate, your very own school search engine that helps you find the best schools for your kid based on various filters and parameters. Today, we have Mr. Umesh Raghavan, whose kids are studying in the Heritage School. It's an experiential school based out of Noida, and let's speak to him and understand his perspective and thoughts about the school. Well, to begin with, what made you to choose this school over the other schools located in the same locality?
Well, my search actually for this school started during the COVID times. My son started his formal schooling in the year 2020. And that time, obviously, the schools that we had shortlisted were one of the very good schools, and one of the alumni. I was an alumni of that school. I won't take the name for obvious reasons, but I was the alumni of that school, and I wanted my son to go there as well. And in about years' time, I sort of realized that I wanted a little better for my son. And I actually met one of my fellow friends, who's actually one of the teachers in one of the named schools of Noida. And she specifically mentioned that the Heritage School is coming up in Noida, and you should definitely give it a try, because my candid conversation with her was that I wanted to look at a school which not just focuses on the academics but on the holistic growth of children as well, not just from a from their heritage perspective, but their culture and the overall well-being of the society and the environment. So that's when she mentioned about the Heritage School, and then we started researching about it. To be very honest, I did not know about the Heritage School's existence till then. Then I started looking for the Heritage School, which was earlier established in Gurgaon, and through a lot of testimonials that we saw online, and through some common friends whose children are in the Heritage School, we got to know that it's an exemplary school, and we wanted to give it a try. And then the admissions were also open at that point in time. We were lucky because it was pretty much somewhere in the month of February or March of 2021 when the admissions were still open, and we wanted to change my son's school at that very year. Inductions and some coffee conversations with the management and the esteemed principal of the school, Mrs. Manju Rajput. We were very certain about the future of our child. The way the school has established its very unique pedagogy was something which I was very impressed with. I also was very impressed by the fact that they just do not focus on making just the academics as their center of education, right? For them, the education was a holistic approach, and the experiences that the kids will go through over a year, in a particular section or in a particular class, is what really made my decision very, very easy. And then after that, after the induction and the session that we had with the management and with the principal, I think it was a no-brainer for us, and we were really, really impressed by the infrastructure the school had built. It was state of the art, and also the fact that the teachers were well trained, and the at the helm of the overall education, the entire very impressive. So we were really happy to be associated with this kind of a school, and happy to see the progress thus far. It's been almost 3 years now, and I'm really, really happy to see where my son is at this point in time.
Great. That's very nice to know. And you just got up the state-of-the-art infrastructure, the physical infrastructure of the school. So for those parents who didn't visit the campus yet, can you throw more light into what they can expect once they walk into the campus?
Absolutely. Well, I'll share a very funny conversation that I had with one of my relatives. My relative's son, studies right across the Heritage School, where they were very excited about this new quote unquote mall that was coming up across their campus. And then, when we visited the campus and we saw for the first time, then by that time, the Heritage Schools board had started, been put up. So I told my relative that, it's actually, we're planning to put him in the Heritage School. It's in Sector 128. And he was very inquisitive. I was like, oh, my son is also in another school, which is bang opposite the Heritage School. Which one is it? So I said it's the Heritage School, which is now very newly come up. So I thought that that's a mall that has come in. The infrastructure was so good looking, and it looks really elegant. My first appearance of the school was. It's a fantastic infrastructure. I think it's a state of the art facility that we could see. Everything is so well balanced. Not it doesn't have an appearance of a school, but it still has a beautiful infrastructure where kids have so much of open space. There's a beautiful football ground. The classes are well designed. Very spacious. Where the kids are sitting. It's very comfortable. And I've been there a few times, and I myself felt that the kids have a beautiful place to kind of go to school to. And it's not a comparison with the other schools. I haven't seen a lot of other schools, but in this school, I had a very comfortable spot where I was very happy to see my son run around, and with the other friends of his, which he has built over a period of time. And the various additions to the school has been quite good over the last 6 to 8 months. They've got an indoor swimming pool. They've got a badminton court. They've got a huge audiovisual room, an auditorium, which we got a chance to attend one of our school's performance, my son's performance, the last couple of months back. So overall, holistically, whatever that we need in a school, from an infrastructure perspective, from a movability perspective and the space perspective, I think all of that is available in this school, and it's one of the finest infrastructures that I've seen, at least in the Noida area. I'm not very sure about the other cities around India, but this is definitely one of the finest that I could see, and that's exactly what you really need in a school, right? You don't want over the edge kind of things, right? Which cannot be used by children. It's something which keeps them grounded, but it also makes sure that they get the highest quality of things which they can get in a school. So I'm really happy with that.
Great. And speaking about the management, how accessible is the management in case if you have any questions or concerns? Is it easy to reach out to them and speak to them?
Absolutely, they're very, very accessible. Obviously, see, at the end of the day, we have to realize it's a school. It's run, by very esteemed people who have very, what do you call, a very credible background, right? So they are, and it's a new school. So the management obviously is busy ensuring that the facilities that are supposed to be given to the children, the teachers that are being selected, the staff that is being selected, is of top quality, right? And their evaluation process. And I got to know about this after my very recent interaction with the principal, that they are always evaluating their staff. That not just includes their principal, their teachers, but the headmistresses and the staff which is directly interacting with the children. They're always evaluated. So it's a fantastic thing from a management perspective. It's always good to know that it's not just the children who are making made to learn new things every day, but it's also the teachers and the staff who are the quality of education is maintained. Right. At the end of the day, these children are the ones who will eventually become the bright stars, in the future. Right. So the kind of interaction that they're going to have with the teachers and with the staff members is what's going to determine how well they are going to get groomed. Talking about accessibility, I myself have been a part of the Parent Teachers Association. I'm the vice chairman of the PTA, and my interaction with the management has been really smooth. There has never been a moment where I've tried to reach out for any questions I had or any suggestions that I had to make. It has always been the case where the principal ma'am and the management has always been really helpful. They're just a phone call away, at least for some of these important meetings or the discussions that we have to do.
Got it. And for all the other viewers, can you tell us what's the fee structure of the school like?
Sure. So I pay about 3.5 lakhs in a year. That includes everything. My son travels about 15 kilometers by bus. My son uses a school transport, so this is inclusive of that. And the best part about this is that the child gets to have 2 meals in the school. So this is inclusive of that as well. So 2 meals in a day and the transport plus the tuition fees.
Got it. And we all know the Heritage School induces experiential learning approach into CBSE curriculum. Have you seen
Yes.
that difference between a traditional school versus a school that has this kind of approach? And how has your experience with a kid been in terms of the learning process in experiential manner?
Absolutely, there's a huge difference. I'll give a very small example. The Heritage School focuses on giving experience to children through expeditions. So each year there are 4 expeditions that children undergo, right? Where they are learning through their experiences by, where they are learning a new subject, whether being the weather or plants or something which is around their surroundings. So they are learning through experiences. So every quarter they are taken to a field or to a garden where they are directly interacting with either the small animals or the plants or learning about road safety, all of these things. And my son is in grade 2 right now. He's already experienced all of that. The best part is, and why we know that he's having a very enriching learning, is he comes back and he implements that while he's going through with his daily activities, right? So if we reach a road sign and he's going to tell me, Papa, look, there's a road sign over there, which says either need to slow down, there's a speed breaker ahead, or he sees some new plants which he says, oh, I saw that in the expedition that I'd gone to. These are some of the factors which really ensure that I have a very big comfort that my son is learning in the right environment, and then he's able to implement that in his real life. Now that's what the whole experiential learning and kids at that age should do and learn, right? Their civil rights, all of those things, they are becoming more you know what do you call, becoming more aware from a civil society perspective. All of these things are extremely critical from a grooming of a child, and that's what we are able to get at the Heritage School.
Fantastic. You seem to be pretty happy on the whole, but if you have to be really critical and tell us the areas where the school can still get better at, what are the areas?
Absolutely. And I'm, like I said, I'm an extremely happy parent, and I had my share of concerns as well, right? It's a new school, and I discussed this very critically with the principal, and I got a very honest answer as well. I'm going to talk about that briefly. So one of the things that we had observed was there was a lot of attrition in the teaching staff. And when I say attrition, there were a lot of teachers who were coming in over a period of 1 quarter or 2 quarters. They were changing, and we only got to know once the teachers got changed. So this was one of the things that I had raised with the headmistress of the school, and then eventually with the principal. That look, I think for kids, they because they're so young, at least for the age 5, 6, and 7, the kids are very young, but they build a bond with their teachers, and then another 5 to 6 months, there's a new teacher which is coming in. So eventually, that bond breaks, and they have to rebuild that bond with the new teachers. Yeah. So and the answer was very logical that I got. That they are in the constant state of churn and the constant state of evaluating the teachers whether they are able enough and good enough to deliver what is expected by the school management. So they said, like I had said in my initial conversation, the school sets really high standards from a quality perspective, and ensuring that what the kids get, they are absolutely fine, of the top notch. So from that perspective, it was very acceptable to me that the school is evaluating the teachers on the go as well. So, and that's why some of the teachers who probably either did not understand the whole experiential way of it, they could come from a very conventional school methodology, and that's why the evaluation happened, and then they are making sure that the best teachers continue with the school. And so to this extent, I mean, to this day, I don't have any other challenges or any concerns that I've faced. But this was definitely one of the most important ones, because at the end of the day, for me, academics along with the other things is equally important. So be it sports, be it curricular activities, be it, children going on the stage and performing the way they want to. All of that is a very holistic approach that I always wanted for my son. And that's exactly what we're getting. And then the teachers, changing was one of the important aspects that the school thought is important from delivering quality to the kids.
Yes, that's so nice. And before we wind up, as a last question, on scale of 10 with 10 being the highest, how likely are you to recommend the Heritage School to any of your kids of your?
Well, I think from the conversation that we had, it's a 10 on 10 from my side. But I will tell you, there are a lot of things which, a lot of parents have raised, with whom I interact. One of the very common things is, there is no school uniform in the school, right? A lot of people thought that it is something which, is, it should not be there because the other schools have a uniform and it maintains uniformity in the school. I think that it just makes children of this generation much more independent in taking their decisions, right? It is just a small factor, but we've seen that in our son, the last 2 to 3 years, when he's been going to school, he started taking independent decisions. He decides what to wear, what not to wear, because he knows when he has to attend sports class, he can't do that in a baggy jeans or in a tight outfit, right? I mean, he decides that on his own. So that is something that I feel is the most independent decisions at this age that kids can do, where they know what they want to wear, they know how they want to speak in school or outside of school. So that is something, the detrimental factors that I felt that is something which keeps this school separate from others. So it's a definitely 10 on 10 from my side. And I wish all the parents who do who are going the parental path for the first time or the second time, the very best. And this is definitely a school which should definitely look, give a chance to, because the school transforms the kids from a toddler to a young child to a very intelligent and holistically civil what do you call they are aware of their civil rights, and that is something that they definitely will eventually become. So I'm really happy, and I wish all the parents a very good luck.
Thank you very much coming forward and sharing all these thoughts. It will be of great help for other parents who are looking for good schools in this locality. And on behalf of all those parents, thank you very much once again for your time.